Phoning while driving quadruples your risk of an accident, causing 2,600 deaths every year. So it's asking state legislatures.
It's it's just emotionally disturbing. It's to me, it's as concerning as somebody pulling a gun out.
Do you feel that most student drivers at Northville High School understand the dangers of distracted driving?
Most, keyword most, I don't think so.
Have you ever been in a vehicle where the driver was using their phone?
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
Like, sometimes unsafe. For the most part, unsafe, I'd say.
Well, if it makes you feel unsafe, do you ever say anything to the driver?
Like, not usually, but like if the roads are bad, I usually try and say something.
Well, why not say something every time if you think it's dangerous?
That's a good question.
I feel like if the roads are fine, it's not really that dangerous.
Do you ever say anything to the driver if they're using their phone?
No, not really.
Why not?
I just don't really pay attention to it.
So if anything that takes your eyes off the road is distracting, then why do you look at your phone when you drive? If you get a notification when you're driving, what do you do?
Usually check it.
If you think distracted driving is dangerous, then why do you still check your phone?
It's a good question.
I think human nature is that we're bulletproof, that it's never going to happen to me, whether that's disease, mortality, accidents, and then when it does, it's too late.
About 7:50 in the morning, Mitchell was hit from behind by a young lady who was distracted. He was hit with such force that it drove both cars across a very narrow median. Median's only 52 feet wide, and Mitchell was driven into oncoming traffic where he was hit by a truck, and he was killed instantly. It's just emotionally, life-changing. I mean, I received the call from my daughter Juliana when I was driving home from work, and I knew something horrific had happened. When I got to the house and the police officer was here and he told the story, I just collapsed on the floor. I mean, it's the most horrific thing that any parent or any family member can ever imagine. And again, to think that it's so senseless and it's just, a split second of somebody not paying attention that can just, destroy a life and change so many lives for forever. Distracted, she would have seen Mitchell slowing down, she would have slowed down, and it would have been just like a normal day in traffic that all of us face. She would have slowed down, the accident would have never happened, and we wouldn't be talking about it now.
Have you ever been in a vehicle where the driver was using their phone?
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel nervous.
Why?
Because I'm afraid we're going to crash. Like they're not paying attention.
It's amazing that there's not more sort of public awareness and just activity to try to stop this when it's happening to so many people.
It's a potential deadly decision thousands of people make every single day. In 2010 alone, distracted driving wrecks have killed more than 3,000 people. And experts say texting while driving is the #1 distraction for drivers.
We talked about it as a family, and we said, we can either let this, destroy us and grieve forever and have that be the outcome, or we can, take the opportunity to try to repurpose our lives and sort of change the course of history and try to help eliminate this horrific problem. somehow. And I think that, I felt and my family felt that through this Kiefer Foundation, we could help Mitchell change the world in his memory.
My first tip for success is take decisive action. So you have to make a decision to hit your goal, make a decision to make a change in your life. So whatever it is that you want to do, decide that you're just going to do it. When you make a decision, it takes away all your doubt. It's not what if I'm going to hit my goal, it's when am I going to hit my goal, how fast am I hit it.
Is really focused in 3 areas, so we call them the 3 pillars. First and foremost is about awareness. Second is about promoting and the promotion and enforcement of legislation to address distracted driving. And then the third pillar is about technology. We want everyone to feel as though it's just absolutely, life-threatening and appalling to have somebody being distracted while they're in a car. Raising awareness and raising money towards this cause. We've raised over $1 million in this first year. We've used the money for a couple of things. The first and most significant project was the implementation of cable guardrails in the area of the accident where Mitchell's death occurred. Just a few months ago, I was told that 4 of the posts were already knocked down, meaning there's already been a car that's hit that same point. Now, luckily, that car wouldn't have made it across the median in oncoming traffic. That car would have been, and that person would have been saved. So we feel really blessed that we were able to have an impact on some drivers already with that project. A second project that we're really quite proud of was the dedication of an ice arena here in Plymouth, Michigan, in Mitchell's honor. Mitchell was a goalie on the Detroit Catholic Central State Championship hockey team in 2016. So we worked with them on dedicating the rink in Mitchell's honor. So that was dedicated on December 6th of last year. That became the Mitchell Kiefer Memorial Ice Arena, and it's dedicated in the name of Mitchell, but more importantly in the name of distracted driving. We've been working closely with an organization called the Peers Foundation, and this is an organization out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, that has developed a virtual reality simulator that can be put into an automobile and brought into high schools, and it allows young drivers to experience what distracted driving feels like and the impact of it. So basically we put a driver in the car with virtual reality goggles, we distract them, and then the car ultimately will crash, and it hopefully leaves an impact on young drivers on the seriousness of this.
Sending or reading a text takes your eyes off the road for about 5 seconds. That's long enough to cover a football field while driving at 55 miles an hour.
Distracted driving and motor vehicle crashes are the leading cause of death for teen drivers. But accidents like this are preventable with education.
It kind of opened my eyes a little bit.
East High senior Cole Bache learned about the dangers of distracted driving shortly after getting his license.
I picked up my phone one time and I sideswiped a sign and knocked the mirror off the car.
An incident he says he won't soon forget. East High students got to virtually experience that same type of accident without damage or injury through a distracted driving simulator that lets them experience the dangers of texting and driving in a safe environment.
Get in, you put the goggles on, and then you start driving, and they say once you're comfortable, like, pull out your phone. And once you pull out your phone, like, it just goes downhill from there. Like, I just crashed the car immediately into a tree.
It's a lot different than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I'm guilty of texting and driving sometimes, but when I was doing it, I only lasted like 5 seconds. I blew through a stop sign and got hit. So it's kind of eye-opening.
The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety says people who use a cell phone while driving are 4 to 5 times more likely to be in injury-causing traffic crashes, and 2/3 of teens admit to text messaging while driving.
A lot of them see their parents do it and see everybody else do it, so they need to make sure that they don't do it themselves.
After experiencing the simulator, students then sign a pledge not to text and drive.
Like, learned from today, obviously, like, not to pick up my phone really anymore. It's just not important, not worth it.
And just a reminder, talking on a handheld cell phone or texting while driving is against the law.
Good morning, this is Ian Detroit on CBS 62 and I'm Jackie Page. We all love innovations in technology, but they also come at a price. Texting and driving can lead to serious accidents. The Peers Foundation's mission is to prevent teenage distracted driving by incorporating technology and augmented reality with their car simulator.
She had 2 curb collisions, 3 object collisions. You ran 4 red lights.
The objective is to show kids just how easy it is to get into a crash while they are distracted and driving.
Oh, I just went through a yellow light.
There's 1.6 million accidents a year due to distracted driving. Yes. The statistics say that about a quarter of those are from cell phone use.
Some crazy drivers out there.
They will be experiencing augmented reality, which is a brand new technology, and it's been put together and sponsored by General Motors.
Dude, I want to hang out with you after school.
We know as an educator and as a parent, we desire to keep our kids safe, and we know that they spend a lot of time on the road, and it's very easy to get distracted. So anything we can do to keep them safe and protect them and raise their awareness, we want to do those things.
Making a left turn from the right lane.
I do think that this program will help kids like my age, understand that it's important not to text and drive, because not only are you putting your own life in danger, you're also putting other people's lives in danger.
And you're looking off the road for a minute.
I didn't realize how difficult driving was until I was in there with all the distractions that were happening.
The ultimate goal is to get them to realize that texting is not worth their life or the life of somebody else. Because ultimately, that is what you are playing with when you're driving down.
Be focused on watching the road, watching your surroundings, and keeping your hands on the wheel. That will go a long ways towards saving lives.